On this week's episode of Good For You, Friends Don't Let Friends. What did we start talking about in the beginning? Matcha?
This is a matcha podcast.
When in doubt, the answer is matcha.
That's it. Just so you're not disappointed in the episode, the bar is set low. Hello and welcome to
Good For You.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Good for you.
Good For You, a podcast about the things we ghosted, the purchases that haunt us, and the best products, services, and industry happenings in the wellness, well-being, and spiritual space. We're going to give you a healthy little dose of fun. We're going to talk about the things that are happening in pop culture, the ones that got away, the things in our cart that are haunting us or ghosting us, our strong opinions
that are loosely held. We like to call this the Grex.
The group text.
The group text in your ear. So come say hello. Join us in the audio Grex, where friends don't let friends get scammed.
Lean in and I was like, oh, is she going to record us?
I love that. Are you getting this?
This is gold. This is audio gold. No, carpet, it tells you a lot about someone, what type of carpet they like.
It tells you.
It does.
What does your carpet taste say about you?
Well, we love a jute rug, but I don't like the way it smells.
They do, especially if they get a little bit wet.
They can smell a little bit mildewy, but otherwise they smell,
grassy.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, grassy.
A little grassy, yeah.
They smell grassy.
What kind of grass, though?
Vaguely of matcha, maybe. I don't know. Matcha's somewhat grassy.
It is. It has that. Speaking of matcha, do you have a drink?
I do have a drink. Do you have a drink?
I have a drink.
I have a drink that I poured into here. What do you have?
I have a fun drink. It is a matcha latte in a can.
She really went out on a limb today, ladies and gentlemen.
Which I really went out of my regular drink setup.
Okay, what brand is it?
It is called Pop and Bottle. It's a matcha green tea latte, oat milk with reishi and maitake. I have to be honest, this was the cheapest thing at the store in terms of drinks that I could get. It was under $4. Pretty hard to find a matcha latte outside of the house, as we have discussed.
Yeah. For
under $8.
That's true. Okay. And that's like half of $8 is $4.
That's math.
Yeah. That is math. How was it?
It's disgusting.
Oh no. You get what they pay for, as they say.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to drink it though, but it's not great.
You're a true hero.
Super
to really
sweet.
Push through that.
What are you drinking over there?
I had to go to Home Goods this week because I'm hosting Passover tomorrow night.
Fun.
And we don't have any tablecloths. So I was like, I can't be a hostess of Seder without tablecloths. What kind of Jewish mother am I?
Literal human.
Exactly.
Would you recommend Home Goods?
Would I? Absolutely. Do you have time and cash to kill?
Yeah.
The best thing about Home Goods and Cost Plus World Market is that they have their international food section.
Oh.
And that's the best. Girlies, you better go. You better run, not walk. Because they have so many different beverages. They have alcoholic beverages. They have non-alcoholic beverages. They have lots of different types of cookies. They have lots of different bakery options. It's just great.
Did you stock up?
No, I didn't. I had to, once again, I had to be like, mission.
Restraint.
Get on it, Pelazon. Yeah, keep your shit together.
No time to waste. Okay.
Yeah, I can't get the Stroop waffles in 6 different colors and flavors right now. I have to get these tablecloths.
But it's so tempting.
So tempting.
What's on the menu for Passover?
I'm going to make my own matzah.
Yes, you are, you bread girl.
Bread girly, carb lady. Okay, I actually learned this and it made me even more obsessed with the idea of learning how to make matzah. I'm learned in matcha. I know it well. Okay, so apparently you have to make matzah in under 18 minutes. So you literally set a timer because
love this.
We love a
deadline.
We're getting out of Egypt. We got to make that unleavened bread. So it's like true to form. You have to make it in 18 minutes or else it's not considered matzah. And so you set a timer.
What does it morph into after?
I don't know, just regular old crackers, like nothing good.
Just regular crackers.
Yeah, definitely not sagrado. So you set a timer, you go. You have to stab the matzah 25 times on each side with a fork, and then you have to throw it in your oven. And if you don't make it within the 18 minutes, you either have to throw it away or it's not considered like kosher for Passover. So I'm really excited about just like the
Spoiled
time
matzah.
limit. Yeah, spoiled matzah. I don't think I'm going to mess it up. I think I'm going to be okay. But I just like the ADHD in me is, oh my God, a timer, like a deadline.
This. No problem. Watch me work, baby.
Exactly.
My little underdog mind is like, what about the spoiled matcha? What happens? Do they get made into matzo balls?
I'm sure they don't throw it away, but they probably don't sell it as kosher.
So who eats
Also,
it?
like matzo factories, come on. They're making it in under 18 minutes. They're not hand rolling. They've got it figured out. Like Henry Ford's shop. They're so effective and proficient.
It's a machine. I wish I could try some air matzah. So who's coming over?
We have actually 10 people coming over. And
Incredible.
I'm also going to make a brisket. You can't have anything leavened. So I'm making a chocolate cake.
Flourless? My fave.
Yeah. I'll make it for you when you come over. Don't worry.
With all the flowers.
You have to do like bitter green salad and what else?
Sounds great.
Doing, the like traditional kugel classic dishes.
Love me some kugel.
Really? I can't, it's hard. It's a tough texture for me. It's a tough texture situation.
I guess it depends on who's made it.
Yeah. Anywho.
I have a note here about learning to dress yourself. Shall we discuss?
You act like how you say it like it mysteriously landed on our page, like our Mr. Producer wrote this note. It was us. We wrote it.
I have a note here that I wrote.
That we talked about.
Our big boss producer came in and handed us the show notes. And it was like, this is hot.
Yeah, dressing oneself. We both separately took in content this weekend around dressing, and it's been on the minds. So maybe it's in the hive mind too. But you read an article in The Guardian?
Yes. Basically, the trend of reducing your shopping, reusing your closet, and honestly, recycling your clothes.
I was going to say, I have a feeling
I have to
go
go
recycling.
But mostly, I think it's people learning how to mix and match, how to style things in different ways and finding joy in that. And this is content we love to see. It's not about constantly following trends. I feel like following trends is a little taboo in some circles. Yeah. The days of the Shein haul is a little, I never thought they were good. But
I think it depends on the circle that you run in, how old you are, and what you're taking in. Because Shein they're the biggest fashion company in the world right now.
Yes, that is so scary. But also similar to Zara. Man, I see people. No shade to Zara. Yeah.
You can shade Zara.
Not shade, actually. I just mean, sometimes that's where you have to go. I get it. But this is the world we live in. And I think what we both saw, or what we have been seeing, I feel like for a few months, is a lot of content and a lot of content creators who are bringing this conversation back up of how do you reinvent your own closet? How do you find a new way of styling and enjoying what you already have, which is so wholesome. I love it.
Yeah. The video I saw this weekend and that I was like, oh, I'm glad you shared that article about from The Guardian. I saw this video this weekend. I beg of you, let me convince you to wear your clothes in a new way by Hannah Louise Poston on YouTube. And she basically was talking about monochromatic dressing and dressing from to tonal and how matchy to not matchy, but still monochromatic. And it was very refreshing because she basically was like, you shouldn't buy anything new. I bet that a pair of blue pants and a blue shirt, it doesn't matter if they're completely different colors of blue, like that's actually kind of chic. And then put another color blue jacket over on top, and it's monochromatic. It matches. You don't have to think about it too much, but it's very fashion. And I really liked that. As someone who wears like a lot of white, a lot of black, and a lot of blue, I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I can get behind that. I like that concept. So I'm going to try dressing more monochromatic and see if I like my fashion
I love this
game.
Plan.
Yeah.
I love this for you. It's going to look great.
Thank you.
I love a monochrome outfit.
Me too. It just makes life easy. I miss uniforms. I wore uniforms like kindergarten to 12th grade, and I love a uniform.
I think that whole debate about whether there is no right or wrong, of course, but when I was, all throughout school, didn't wear a uniform, always wanted to, always had fantasies of it because it was like romanticized in my mind. But I also think one of the things that, I don't know if this came up or has come up in your content, is getting rid of the kind of sometime maybe clothes. Maybe when I am X size, or maybe when I am X person, I will put on this whatever. And I had a friend once say to me, holding on to clothes for this idealized version of you, whatever it is actually self-harm. And I was like, oh.
Wow.
That might sound a little extreme, but her explanation was it's constantly dangling this thing in front of you that you feel you're not, but might be one day. And it's just a constant reminder of you are not enough in some way.
I was
like, ooh, psychology of wardrobes.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. It's almost like the same thing with hair. The way we're so connected to the way that our hair looks and how we style it, and our identity is so wrapped up in it. Yeah, I'm going through that right now because I fit back into my wardrobe pretty much pre-baby, but there are some things that don't exactly look the same way on me where I'm like, do I like this? I liked it better before. Is my body going to change? Is it not? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. So I'm like in an analysis paralysis. I'm wearing the same stuff over and over again and like ignoring, I feel like 80% of my closet.
That's interesting to see which way it'll go and how that develops. Because I think we talk about this a lot, but archetypes and embodying them in your clothing is so important. Like when I don't have to leave the house, sometimes I don't get dressed right away until I'm like, it's time to get dressed now. And then I always feel better when I get dressed. So 100%. I personally instituted a new rule for myself that I can't be doing that anymore.
I like that.
It's not allowed.
I like that. I think that's good. Another thing that I think is really useful along the lines of like just getting dressed in the morning, because sometimes I don't get dressed because I'm like, I just don't want to think and I'm trying to throw something on quickly, is having like fashion formulas. I stumbled across this amazing creator on TikTok, and I'll have to find her and we'll link her below. I don't know what her name is off the top of my head, but she comes up with style formulas basically. And she says, save this formula in your phone. So you're going to use this type of top and this type of bottom. And it can look, she shows you like 10 different ways that what it can look like. So smart, because you're like, oh yeah, like a blazer and a maxi skirt or whatever. And here's how it looks styled in a bunch of different ways, but with those same two pieces. And I think when you have those little formulas in your head and you start to know what works, it does change the game.
Bing, bang, boom. That reminds me, this other trend I saw probably in the past year of stylists coming in and you show them your wardrobe and you're like, I am falling out of love with all of this stuff. Help me reinvent it. And someone will come and have you see basically a new perspective on your own stuff. I love that. I think it's great.
That's cool. I wonder if you could take pictures of your clothes and plug it into ChatGPT.
Give me new outfits.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, that's a brilliant idea. We have to do that.
Okay, I'm looking up the woman who does outfit formulas. Okay, her name is Layered and Liberty with Liberte. And she's just so cute. And she says, you're not fashionable. I'll let you put the link in. It says, it's not because you're not God's favorite. It's because you don't know how to put together outfits. It's a really good audio. So I'll send it to you right now.
That's so good. It's because you need style help, honey.
Yes. It's not because you're not God's favorite. Okay, so we're into the fashion these days.
Like, where are we? Please let us know if you're also learning how to dress yourself, because we are learning. We are relearning.
I do feel like we talk about it a lot though, because you and I, I don't know, we're always trying to figure out what our style is and walk the line between what feels really good in our bodies and on us, makes us feel good, what's happening in trendy but not too trendy, and also like, how can I not spend $1 million in my wardrobe or buy out a Zara in order to like, I don't know, stay on trend? It's a tough place to be in.
You perfectly described the tightrope we are walking constantly. I think also for the people out there who try and pretend like clothes and fashion don't matter.
Oh, I see. You think this has nothing to do with you. You go to your closet and you select, I don't know, that lumpy blue sweater, for instance, because you're trying to tell the world that you take yourself too seriously to care about what you put on your back. But what you don't know is that sweater is not just blue. It's not turquoise. It's not lapis. It's actually cerulean. And you're also blithely unaware of the fact that in 2000...
This is a side note, but I was thinking about one of the best ways to teach someone who's interested in clothing, style, and fashion history. It would be through the lens of textiles and fashion. I really feel that it gets easily dismissed, again, usually gendered, and I like that we talk about it as important here because it is. So I'm also happy to see that the trend is not about new, buy. At least, I guess, in our content
Algorithms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, you have to put on clothes every day. Don't act like it's something that doesn't impact you. It impacts you. You put on clothes every day. Come on.
Yeah. And if you live in a nudist colony and listen to this podcast,
please write into us. We would love to interview
pretty
you.
Cool. Yeah. Anyway.
Speaking of being naked and new skin, crowd favorite, podcast favorite over here on the
cult favorite.
Cult favorite.
Airbnb favorite.
Everybody's favorite. George's favorite. Aesop. Sold.
Fuckboy favorite. Sorry, not George. You know who you are.
Aesop sold to L'Oreal. And when I read this news, I'm not going to lie to you, Wallace, I was sad. I actually felt a wave of anxiety up in my body because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to go spend a bunch of money on Aesop before all their formulas change.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to go shopping.
Oh my God, what am I going to do?
You read this to me as we were speaking earlier today and my jaw dropped. My mouth was agape and aghast at this news. I feel like this is sad. Although great for L'Oreal, I was reading that the original founder, Mr.
Aesop.
Dennis, the original founder, Mr. Aesop, a.k.a. Dennis, I don't know how to say this name, sold Aesop to Natura & Co., a Brazilian cosmetic company that also owns Avon, OG.
Two MLMs.
Canadian. Wait, the Body Shop? Really? No.
Yep.
Did not know this.
Yeah, double click on it later. But
okay. Yeah, in 2017, although I could not find very easily how much it sold for. So I was really excited for Mr. Aesop in this deal, but they didn't get
that money's not going back to Mrs. Aesop and their Aesop children.
Unfortunately. I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah.
But it was also cool to see that he sold it. I don't know. I didn't know Aesop was around in 1987.
Yeah. They're a good brand. They were. I'm bummed because L'Oreal, I think it's only, 7 companies own like 182 of the brands that we see on the market, which is a lot. And those brands are Johnson & Johnson, Shiseido, Estee Lauder, Unilever, Procter & Gamble, Coty, and L'Oreal. And L'Oreal, I think if Chelsea Williams was listening to this podcast, she would say L'Oreal is probably a better brand to sell to other than Estee Lauder because they own La Roche-Posay, Pureology, SkinCeuticals. They have pretty good formulations.
Kiehl's.
They also have Armani, Redken, Yves Saint Laurent. They have some pretty good brands, Urban Decay. But there's probably a good chance that some of the formulations that we love are going to change just because like their manufacturers are maybe going to change. And yeah, that kind of sucks. So what are you going to be scooping up that you're going to make sure you get the original formula of when it comes to our beloved Aesop?
So I actually think their soap is mostly overrated because...
Okay, hot take.
because it always clogs in the container. Especially the soap that has the little exfoliating thing.
Yeah, the little pebbles.
It's really annoying. But I am a fan of their scents, although I don't have any right now. I smell them sometimes on Friends or like when I go into the store. I've always been like one day. And maybe I'll do that because I do feel like those will be made more cheaply.
Yeah, and they'll change. My sister's wedding perfume was, I think, the Marrakesh from Aesop, and it smelled so nice. Wonderful. Yeah, their scents are awesome. I really like their Elemental. They have this like ski line basically, and it's so cool. The best. It's the best lotion. I have really dry skin, and it is. I actually just ran out. I'm going to buy like 3 more because it lasts for a really long time, and it's awesome, and it works really well. And I really like their Primrose moisturizer too. Primrose oil.
Ooh.
I don't know. I think that their skincare line is slept on. I think their skincare is so good.
What an incredible brand move. The way they infiltrated into the Airbnb space as a sign of luxury
Uncanny.
is genius.
Yep, exactly. It's not too like Byredo. I feel it's like very luxury because it's expensive. I think Byredo also got acquired by L'Oreal. Yeah, they have super nice hand soap. Yeah, Aesop was like attainable luxury. It felt
Yeah, just almost a little aspirational, but not too far.
a little bit like Le Labo. I feel like Le Labo is kind of like that too.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
Well, okay. Who is this good for?
Definitely good for L'Oreal. Probably good for Mr. Aesop in some way, and hopefully good for consumers. I doubt it though, because I doubt like any cost savings are going to get passed along to us.
Fair enough. Go and get your elemental moisturizer and your scents.
Speaking of scents, I have a sexy unique scam.
Scam.
Yes, speaking of scents, I am so curious. I really want to try this.
Okay, so got an ad I was telling you for this fragrance, Riddle Fragrances. And the ad was so ugly, but it was so convincing because it was just pop-ups of people commenting that everyone tells them they smell good. So I walked through this restaurant and the waiter stopped me, blah, blah, blah. I'm at the grocery store and someone stopped me. And it was for this company called Riddle Fragrances. So obviously I clicked through because I am a slut for fragrances. I love perfume. I don't think I've told you this, Wallace, but I'm way more sensitive to it now that I'm postpartum. Like, I couldn't wear perfume while I was pregnant because it would make me sick. I couldn't wash my hair with my shampoo. I had to wash with an unscented shampoo and a peppermint shampoo when I was pregnant because it would make me throw up.
That's so interesting because I'm really sensitive to perfume actually.
Yeah, and a couple times since I've given birth, I've worn perfume the normal amount that I would wear before, and I can't even be with myself. I'm like, I need to go shower because this is too much.
Wow.
Fascinating. Anyways.
The body, it knows.
It knows. It keeps the score. I wish it wouldn't. That does. I love perfume nonetheless with this new sensitivity. So I went through, and I figured out that Riddle Fragrances are pheromone perfumes. And I don't know if you remember this, but like early in the pandemic, there was a big push for pheromone perfumes. They were like all over everyone's algorithm, not just me, not just you. We heard it from a lot of people. And you could buy some of them on Amazon very cheaply with horrible packaging, and they smelled like Capri Sun, and they were not good. But I'm super curious about these ones because I actually have another perfume that is similar to this. It's called Maya. It's a base perfume with pheromones in it. And when I use it, I can't smell it at all. It goes on. I can slightly smell something when I put it on, but it's very faint and it's like vaguely floral without fail. Because I don't wear it that often because I like to smell good. Like I want to smell. I don't wear it that often, but when I do, I get compliments from every single person I see the day that I'm wearing it. I'll walk out and Ethan will be like, "You smell so good." And he never compliments what I wear or how I smell.
Or what you wear.
Or how I look. Ethan. Or my cooking.
Got some work to do.
Kidding.
Love languages.
But he never notices stuff like that or says anything about it. And I really thought it was like outsized claim, but it is 100% true for this fragrance I have. It's called Maya, and it's their like base scent. And so I'm very curious about Riddle because it seems to be really similar. They have just a couple of their fragrances have pheromones in them. They're basic, one called Sphinx and then another I think called Santal. And I want to try, but they have some samples. However, the sample pack is all sold out. So if you want to go for it, you have to buy the real thing. And that's, I think, $58. And that's a little more than I want to spend on a fragrance that I don't know if I'm going to like.
So what's the science behind the pheromone thing? How does that work?
I think that's the problem because
it's magic.
Exactly. Because I did want to just check and see if this Riddle thing was legit or not, because I think that there's just an automatic like that happens when you hear about pheromone perfume because it's so pseudoscience-y, and also because these pheromones are made in a lab versus like the pheromones that we're naturally emitting. And I think that there's question about if they're not your pheromones, do they actually work? Are they attractive, or can they be repellent or whatever? So I typed Riddle into my good old-fashioned search bar and found that they're actually selling it on Amazon, but extremely marked up. And there are a lot of negative reviews and a lot of 1-star reviews that say horrible, run, do not buy this thing. But you know what? a lot of the reviews.
You're like, it gets me interested.
Yeah. They say, do not waste your money. But a lot of the reviews say there's no fragrance. There's no smell. I can't smell anything. Only a light smell, inconsistent smell. And to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure that means that this works because you don't smell it on you. That's the thing about pheromone perfume. You can't smell it because it's your natural scent, but other people can smell it. So I'm like, maybe this is legit.
Maybe this is the riddle they want you to find out.
That's right. I think there's There's something so enticing about the idea of your natural musk. Yes, being the thing that people are like, oh, this smells amazing. It's like the blush or the lipstick that just like meshes with your pH.
With your, yes.
And like gives you the quote unquote perfect pink, and they all end up being the same color. Like, I think it's just heat that changes.
It's called sex.
Yeah. That wasn't okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
No, but that's what blush and lipstick were designed for, to mimic the blush of an aroused woman.
That's true. That is very true. Yes. And the pH changing or whatever, like magic blush, magic lipstick, I think they just go off of the temperature of your skin. Like,
Sorry, I was taking it in another direction.
But I think there's just something so, I don't know, enticing about you.
So sexy, so unique.
Yeah.
So scammy.
So scammy. Yep. That you're like, I want to try it. I want it to work for me.
Have you ever dated someone where you've noticed the shift in, I genuinely enjoy their smell?
Oh, totally.
And at a certain point, you're like, I detest your smell.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. When someone starts to smell like meat and cheese, boys smell like that.
That is the natural progression of the 24-hour testosterone clock. It's usually a 8 p.m. non-showered scent.
Yeah. I like the smell of my husband's like natural musk.
Ethan's meat and cheese.
No, it doesn't smell like meat and cheese. You know, some people do have like a pretty weird funk though, like in their bedroom.
Yeah.
But it's not what you're thinking.
Yes.
It smells like meat and cheese or something. It's like weird.
Yeah.
It's like a very human smell. So we know they're not like totally fake, but can you bottle up pheromones, fake pheromones? Can you bottle it and sell it for $78 on Amazon? You definitely can. Will it work? Unclear. They just sweat and your natural scent will come out. Don't wear deodorant and your natural scent will come out.
But that's different. Sweat scent is different than someone's like natural odor when they're not sweating.
That's true, actually. You're right.
There's also anxiety sweat. There's
definitely a different flavor. Yeah. I think that there's a spectrum of sexy, unique scam pheromones to like legit pheromones. And I only say that because this product that I've worn,
you've experienced it.
It definitely works. And maybe it's not even pheromones. Maybe it's just like the mix of fragrances that just amplifies your natural fragrance or whatever. It mixes with your pH in an interesting way and it smells good and it smells different on everyone. But I do think that's legit. And either way, I think that's cool. I don't really care if it's pheromones or not, but I love the idea of a perfume smelling different, really different on you than it does from any other person. And it's smelling really good.
This is something I'm willing to be scammed by to try.
Agreed. But I'm not willing to buy I'm willing to wait for the sample pack to come back into stock.
The Maya one that you have, would you recommend that one?
Absolutely. Yes. I would recommend it because you also cannot smell it on yourself. I kind of don't even really know what it smells like. It's super weird. When I ask Ethan, he'll be able to tell me, you smell like florally, but also like soap, but just different than normal. And that's not a perfume I would necessarily pick for myself, like those notes, but the fact that he always compliments me on it, I'm like, okay, cool.
I'm fascinated. Stay tuned. We will report back on this once it comes back in stock. You know what I've noticed, speaking of which, that now it's very popular in a website's filter options to do in stock. Yes.
I've noticed that too. And I don't like how they have things that are out of stock.
I'm like, don't tease me.
Exactly. Like,
also, it's working.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I'm like, hide that. I don't want to see it. I don't even want to know what I'm missing out on. And now for Haunted Cart.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
In this section, we talk about what is haunting us, what we've left in our carts, what we've abandoned in our carts, and also what we bought, but we're currently cursed by. What's in your haunted cart?
I only have exorcised ghosts.
Wow. Oh, exercise. I thought you were going to say like exercise outfits. And I was like, wow, yes, tell me more about that. Sweat queen, diva.
Honestly, I am on the hunt. I haven't bought workout exercise clothes in years.
Really?
Which is something I appreciate, I guess, about the quality of most of them.
Yeah.
I don't think I've bought new exercise clothes in 3 years. I definitely don't need more bras. I have too many sports bras. But I definitely need exercise shirts and new leggings. If anyone has any tips, I don't really want to get Aloe. It's not me. Nike doesn't feel like me. Outdoor Voices, I actually don't feel like it fits me.
Yeah.
Ever.
Outdoor Voices doesn't fit me either.
Okay, quickly, my exercise cart are 2 skincare products, which normally I don't have. Normally you have.
Mm-hmm.
I was hustled to get some Biologique Recherche P50 when I went to the well for my egregiously expensive experience.
Because they use they use that BR on you.
They did. And the woman was trying to sell me all of this Biologique Recherche products. There was vials that were the size of a thimble for $80, and I was like, no way. But they had a mini travel size of
The toner.
their cult toner P50.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is a lot for $30, but you hustled me, so I'm just going to keep being hustled. And I was like, I've always wanted to try this. I'll try it. I've been using it for a few weeks now. I've gone through various stages, but overall, I'm a fan. I stan.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I think it's great.
Oh.
I think it's been helping even my skin tone, skin texture, all that old school French shit. I'm like, I guess you guys know what's going on.
Gosh, you know what? We had a mind meld because I've been thinking about that a lot lately. About Biologique. Yeah.
Trying it?
Yeah, but what's kept me from doing it is a bit of research because I think that there's different versions. There's like a 1975 version. There's like the French version. There's the American version. And I'm like, okay, well, I want the best one, but like, where do I find it? And I've honestly stopped there because I'm like, I got other stuff to worry about. So what did you end up going with?
This. I just got what they had at, I don't know which, I should check. I feel like it's probably the American one. So if you can get the French one over here, it's definitely probably better, which I'm sure you could get if you just pay some extra fees.
Yeah.
But it's not cheap. It's lasted a long time actually for how small the vial is. So I would recommend.
Does it smell like burning hair?
No, it smells to me more like nail polish remover, but not as bad.
No, that's doable.
It's not that bad actually. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, and you have another skincare product? You have 2?
The Osea hyaluronic acid. I've been using it after, and I do feel like if you use it right after a toner of some kind, that is the jam. And is also expensive. These are like the 2 products I've bought in the last month where I'm like, this better fucking last me. And they have lasted so far. So you don't need that much, and they work well, but they are pricey.
Wow. Great. That is a good hyaluronic. For some reason, that.
Oh yeah, you said it makes you dry.
It just doesn't work for me. I want it to work, but it just doesn't.
It's great. You can save your money.
Yeah, not Osea's, just like across the board. That's just not a product that works for my skin. But I love that it works for you, especially because you're in the cold, dry weather right now. Cool.
What about you?
Exercised or let's do it. I'll do exercise. I'll bite. So the day that I went into labor, we went and got Ethan a new pair of Nikes, a new pair of shoes.
I saw them.
They're very cool. And I have not had a good pair of running shoes in quite a while because I'm a Pilates girl. I don't really need a pair of running shoes anymore. I really want to get back into dance cardio. I just want to go. I want to rent a studio. Yes. I want to put on my music and I want to dance. And I want to put my sneakers on. I want to do aerobics, but like in the dark to Robin. So I was like, okay, obviously. But I was like, I can't do that until I have good sneakers because you need the arch support. And so I was on Nike looking for some good running shoes. And I was like, you know what? I also don't really have a pair of sneakers that I can wear just in general with like my Amish dresses that I tend to wear. So I went full force, got 2 pairs of Nikes, 1 pair of running shoes, 1 pair of more fashiony shoes. They are still running shoes. They are the Nike trail running shoes. They are the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. And they are so cute. It is the Nike Pegasus trail running shoe. Okay.
Such a good shoe.
It's so cute. It feels like I've got like little trampolines under my feet. And what else have I added to my cart? Oh, the baking saga continues. I also added some heart-shaped baking pans to my cart this week. And they are coming in the mail. So I'm going to make a heart cake.
All right. Update for those listening. Michelle has posted her latest cake endeavor I saw on the gram. It looked beautiful.
Yep. Shout out to Leah for decorating it with flowers. Oh, I did actually add something to my cart that might be helpful for everyone on Good For You. I am postpartum. And this week I started losing a little bit more hair than I liked. It started to freak me out a little bit. Even though I've been taking the super hair, I haven't been taking it consistently. So I immediately began to panic. And then I logged on to Virtue, and I found that they have a shampoo one that's medicated, one that's not, that helps with thinning hair. And I just started using the shampoo, and it's like a shampoo, conditioner, and then the little thing that you scrub into your scalp. And I think it's actually made a difference in the last couple of days. Like, I haven't shed as much in the shower. I was pulling out like clumps of hair.
I always wonder what is a big clump, because sometimes before my period, I lose a lot of hair.
Yes, I agree. And I have always lost a lot of hair. Like, I've always ruined every shower I've consecutively showered in because I lose so much hair that it like has to get pumped. So I'm not like afraid to lose hair, and I have a lot of hair, but this was significantly more than what I've been used to over the last 4 months. And I think every time I go through a hormonal change in life period, I have a like pretty big shift like that. So I think my hormones are leveling out postpartum, and
Makes sense.
Yeah, now things are starting to shed, but I'm really liking it so far, and I really like the smell of the shampoo.
On the shampoo tip, there's also a shampoo called Jupiter that someone that I live with uses for
mysterious.
Uses for dandruff, and it works quite well. I wonder if they have other things. Yeah, it's great for really dry skin and for dandruff.
Cool. I think that's it. We have some good haunted cards this week, and you know what? I think next week we should talk about cleaning supplies. Speaking of zero waste.
I love that. It is, of course, spring cleaning.
Yep. I think we should look. I've seen some potentially sexy unique scams that I want to talk a little bit more about. So I think we should talk about cleaning supplies. Spring cleaning products. Eco-friendly shit.
Or cleaning as the subject.
Scrubbing as the subject. Okay, so have a great summer.
Don't change.
Or do. Leave us a review. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
She dances slow for him. She lets him know she ain't an easy bet. She don't feel him inside her heart. Sometimes a girl has to be smart.